I must say it was a superb budget. I won't use the CII FICCI lexicon of pro-vision, pro-farmer, pro-whatever. And I genuinely believe, in fact, I said it about you that day on Arnab's program, that it was done with decency and dignity. I'm pained that we have an irresponsible bunch of jokers in the opposition, but that's for them to handle. My question is only very simple, and you touched upon it very eloquently. Donald Trump is doing things as the President of the United States as he must. He's not the President of, any other country. And I love what the fact that you said preparedness. I also believe that Indian industry must recognize that there is a danger. Everything can't be only the government's preserve. How do you believe, and you said that in your speech, and I want you to say that because I'm going to tweet about it, talk about it. If there were 3 asks that you had from Indian industry, what would they be?
I'll honestly want to answer this question. But even as I say it, I'm going to have to choose my words. Because I think Indian industry has seen days under the socialist era. Indian industry has seen those days when apparently India opened up after 91. It did open up. But you saw also the government and its approach towards being with the industry. And you're also seeing today India's government, which wants to be with the industry, which is repeatedly proving that it hears the industry out. But yet, unique challenges globally are also the thing which is becoming normal now. So with all this in mind, when I speak of India's industry, I speak being fully conscious that you've survived all these days and you're up and doing your business today. So it's not as if I'm telling you something as though you've never existed before. I'm saying with a clear conscience that you've survived and showed signs of growing. Many of you all have successfully grown as well. The first thing I would want the industry to do is to keep talking to the government. Tell us where you have difficulties. And I clearly remember in 2019, they said, oh my God, if only the tax were brought down. We brought it down. And today too, I strongly believe that was the right action to take, and that has resulted in good outcomes. So talk to the government. Tell us what is it that you see as developments. Second, you should also talk to the government about your perception about what's happening globally. It's one thing for government to say another government acting on something. But the businesses have their own perception, the kind of interaction that US business has with Indian business. I'm sure you're looking at it in a different way. No, if not completely different, at least somewhat nuanced way. So given that, what should the role of the government be? That also is a feedback which will be absolutely critical and useful for. Because eventually, businesses thrive under any shade of the government, in India or anywhere. This government or that government, you're there, you perform, you continue your function. But you have a perception about each government and as to what it can do more for you or less for you so that you can move forward. So you don't change, you don't shut shop because some other government has come into play. They're all elected governments of the people. So you and your commercial instincts are very important for a government to take cognizance and act its own diplomacy or bilateral relationship and talk. And that is why some of the most developed countries have the industry actively engaging with the governments. I'm not saying you should become a lobbyist, because in India lobby has a different sense. But you should actively, rightfully engage with government so that that can influence government's own diplomacy and many other interests. That's a second. Third, I think your associations will also have to move around the country to say how much has been done, how much is not done. And this I say both from the point of view of GST and from the point of view of customs or direct taxation or policy or any regulatory difficulties. From each one of this, I always find that there is a lag between governments decision making or the absence of it, and how message spreads down to your members. The gap is unbelievable. In this day and age, when technology is there with you, most industry groups, when they meet me in different regions, are differently informed than those who are in Delhi or those who are in Mumbai. So I would think there should be a very good system within industry associations to keep sending and receiving thoughts of what you hear, what they share there. You have it already, but I think it has to be rapid. You have instruments for it, do it. That way the vibrancy will be benefiting your own members and also giving us a feedback for us to act on. 3 things.